Nas and Hit Boy have returned with a follow-up to their Grammy Award-winning King's Disease with King's Disease 2. Now, this album just kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, I think there was about a week or so of lead-up for it. But when the tracklist came out, there was one song that everyone gravitated towards almost immediately, and that was EPMD 2, which features EPMD and Eminem, and is also a follow-up and, I guess, remix to their original song EPMD off of the Judas and Black Messiah soundtrack. Both tracks are dope, so it's only right we go bar for bar and break down these lyrics. If you are new to the channel, these breakdowns are where I go through and read out the lyrics to a song and give my interpretation of what the artist is trying to say. My interpretation isn't always correct, so if I have misread something or misinterpreted something, please feel free to let me know in the comments below, because that way everyone gets to learn a little bit of something. So like I mentioned, this track is a follow-up, and I guess you can call it a part 2 to the EPMD track off of Judas and Black Messiah. So it uses pretty much the same beat as well. There might be a little bit of difference, but I honestly couldn't tell any difference. But it's dope, and it starts off with an intro from Nas and EPMD.
Fuck it on low like Eric and Parrish. Closed casket flow, all you niggas get deaded. They don't give you one single rose while you can smell it, so I pick from my own garden.
Bucket on low like EPMD. Closed casket flow, all you deaded. This flow will kill y'all. Whatever y'all doing, it's deaded. We're not doing that no more. This is the closed casket flow. That's so hard for me to say. And then him going into saying they don't give you one single rose while you can smell it, so he goes to his own garden, is kind of in reference to how a lot of artists have passed away in recent years, and we haven't really given them we haven't praised them while they were still alive. We only gave them their flowers when they passed away, which kind of sucks. But we're trying to get better at that. We're trying to give people flowers more so when they're still here, because they should be able to enjoy it, right?
Wanna go out in my garden like Godfather, grandkids in a rock while I got over the block trauma. Yeah. So what you saying, nigga, you got to chill. Thinking you the truth, really you not for real. Back to back with it, the hardest shit of the year.
So he wants to go out in the garden like Godfather, which is in reference to the Godfather film. And then he's just like, yo, what are you saying? You gotta chill. Like, whatever you're on, that's not actually the truth. Like, you aren't for real. Kind of like people who are trying to say they the hardest ones out there, but nah, they're just faking. Or people who think they're dope, but are just kind of mediocre. So they're coming back to prove you wrong. And then it goes right into the EPMD verse.
EPMD, we back in business. Ain't nobody fucking with us, come to your senses. He's the second coming of God, something to witness. Piece of shit fly in your head like Mike Pence's, we in the trenches.
So EPMD, we back in business is just a call to their 5th studio album, which I feel most people are aware of. Like, at least they know of that album more so than their other ones, because back to business. Ain't no one fucking with us, come to your senses. He's the second coming of God. Something to witness. So basically he's saying, like, Parrish is one of those dudes. Like, he's, well, both of them, honestly, but in this case they're saying Parrish is just whatever he's doing, you gotta see this. It's insane. It is as mesmerizing or as important to see as the second coming of God. And then the piece of shit fly in your head like Mike Pence's, we in the trenches, that's just in reference to the the VP debates, where Mike Pence had a fly on his head for almost 3 minutes, and we all had a laugh about it.
I'm mad, better yet, I'm on a rampage. My people can't even get minimum wage. Fuck a stimulus, give me some interest, give me a loan, give me a home.
They're mad, but even more so, they're gonna act on that madness and go on a rampage. And this madness, I guess, comes from the fact that people of color just can't even get a job, like, just due to discrimination. It's tough out there. Most places aren't gonna hire you just based on your appearance and like how they perceive you, which is kind of shitty. I mean, not even shitty, it is shitty. Even beyond that, you think about minimum wage. Minimum wage isn't a livable wage. Like, people are happy to get 15 an hour, but even that's barely livable. Like, living in the Bay Area, you need like at least 25 an hour to to live on your own, and even then you're struggling. Like, it's fuck a stimulus, give me some interest. So I mean, fuck a stimulus, I think that's not necessarily like, yo, don't give me money. Because, I mean, the way I took the stimulus was like, oh, hey, money that I wasn't expecting to have. But I think what he's saying more so is like, we shouldn't be in a position where we need a stimulus. Like, especially for people who are looking for work, you should be able to work and get money at a livable rate so that you won't require extra money or a stimulus. But then give me some interest, I took it as more of, don't disregard me when I'm applying for a job. Like, actually have some sort of interest in me. But another way to think of it is kind of going into the next bit, like, give me some interest on my money. Like, so if I have if I have money, I want to be able to actually accrue some sort of interest on it rather than it just sitting there. Because, I mean, if you put your money in the savings account, you're just losing money, really. I mean, well, you're making, what, 0.001%, which is basically like just letting your money sit and do nothing. So, being able to invest your money means that you have to be able to put your money in some place that wants to take your money. But also, you have to have enough money to even get to that point. So, it could be that, but I think it's more so, give me some interest in, like, me. The give me a loan bit is kind of where I was going, like, the interest and loan. So, on loans, you pay interest on it. But also, like, before I get into that, what you could be saying is, give me a loan so I can just pay some interest on it. Like, I don't care. Like, let me try to live, essentially. But it could also just be going into the whole bank thing. But then, give me a loan, give me a home. That's what a lot of people get loans for. Like, I mean, other than student debt and cars and stuff like that. Or schooling, not student debt. You get into debt because of school. But, people get loans for a multitude of things. But, a lot of times it's for homes. This, I guess, is most easily seen, like, I guess, what he's talking about. If you are into Marvel stuff, if you've seen Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think it was the first episode, Falcon tries to get a loan, and he is denied. And it's not strictly said, I don't believe, it's been a while, but it's assumed to be because he's black. And it's insane because Falcon's an Avenger, he saved the world. Why can't he get a loan? What the fuck?
Give me that land you owe me so I can roam. So when you trespass, blah, one in your dome. Best wishes, ghost them like he timed me. Ain't worried about nothing cause hit squad behind me.
So give me the land you owe me is in reference to the 40 acres and a mule that people were owed years and years ago, which I don't believe anyone actually got. And then just so when you trespass, blah, when you're dome. Like, if you come step into me, this is my property. Get off, basically. Best wishes goes in like Tommy. That is a Power reference, but I don't know it too well because I haven't watched Power. I just haven't had the time to. I'm sorry. And then his squad is a conglomerate of East Coast rappers from back in the day, so they ain't worried because they got homies with them. This then goes into the chorus from Nas, which is pulled directly from the EPMD track, the original one from Judas and Black Messiah.
EPMD, we back in business. I visualize what it is, not what it isn't.
Pulling again the EPMD, we back in business from the verse, but also those verses are pulling it from the original version. Visualizing what it is and not what it isn't. He's being realistic. He's seeing what's out there and he's like, yeah, no, this is what we can actually do. He's not trying to go reach for something that's just far too out of his reach, I guess you could say. And then they're at the mafia table next to the kitchen, just, in the back. And they're eating Michelin stars, counting a million. So Michelin star meals are very high-end meals. They're very expensive and extravagant. So, living that high-end life. I don't know what I was going to say instead. But they're counting a million as well. So just kind of re-emphasizing the fact that they got a lot of money. This then goes into Nas's verse, which flows really well into Eminem's verse as well.
Done. I let it go for the family meetings at Code at Miami. Them wine bottles on Maggie extra large. Sign up for my masterclass Escobar. Feet up in Met Stadium at my restaurant.
So he lets it go for the family. Like, whatever needs to be done for family, he's going to do it. And then they're having meetings at Code in Miami, which I believe is another Michelin star restaurant. I forgot exactly what they serve. But it's a very high-end restaurant. So whatever this family business is, they're going to handle it over there over some nice food. Then wine bottles on Maggie extra large. I don't know what Maggie could be in relation to, but these are very large wine bottles, I guess. Sign up for my masterclass Escobar. Basically saying, if you want to get like me, sign up for this class. It'll take you like 5 easy steps or some shit. But also, you know, like, kind of going into the whole Escobar thing, like the Pablo Escobar stuff, which I think we all kind of are aware of at this point. And then feed up at Met Stadium at my restaurant. So he has a restaurant at Met Stadium, so he's just flexing.
Tied in from AZ to Davies, you know my thoughts get crazy. My teachers, they couldn't grade me. I know some Haitians in Dade County got choppers in Haiti.
So tied in from AZ to Davies, I don't know exactly what he's going at. I mean, a lot of people know of AZ from, or because of Nas, and because he was on his early projects. And then people know of Dave East because Dave East is Nas's artist. So maybe he's just like, yo, I brought these people to you. His teachers, they couldn't grade him. Maybe he's trying to say that whatever level he's at, it's too above what the normal grading scale could be. Not necessarily like the letter grades, but I'm kind of going more into the whole collectible grading, where it's, I think, a scale of 1 to 10, and very rarely is it above like a 9.5 or 9.6, something like that. So he's like, whatever I'm just one of those highly graded things that no one actually knows how to grade because it's so up there. Maybe.
She booked a flight to Colombia, made her body amazing, just to post it on Tumblr. This said fuck up the summer shit. I don't care what you coming with me and Hit Boy running shit. Big gold rope chains, but they flooded now.
She booked a flight to Colombia, made her body amazing. A lot of people fly to Colombia to get their body work done. You do you, man. I'm not judging. And then he's saying she posted to Tumblr and saying like, this that fuck the summer up shit, or fuck up the summer shit. Like, sure, I don't know how many people use Tumblr nowadays. Because in my mind, it's always like kind of around that MySpace era, a little bit longer than that. But I didn't really get into Tumblr, so I don't know how much people actually use it nowadays. I know people do, but to what extent? So it's kind of weird for him to reference Tumblr. And then he's like, "Yo, I don't even care what you on. Like me and Hit Boy, we got this. We running it." And then they got big gold rope chains, but they flooded now. So I'm pretty sure that's just a call to like how back in the day, you know, the rope chains were in fashion, and I think they're coming back. I don't care about jewelry too much, but instead of them just being gold, they're flooded now. They're dripping. They're wet. They're on ice. They're just full of diamonds.
Yeah, pull up with the ghost like a haunted house. She getting scary, blood on my hands like Carrie. Might walk through a cemetery to see where hip-hop is buried. I said it was dead, but it faked his death like Machiavelli. You see letters in red splatter, look like sauce of spaghetti.
So pull up with the ghost like a haunted house. He pulls up in a Rolls Royce Ghost. She's getting scary, blood on my hands like Carrie. That's in reference to the horror movie, I believe, of the same name. I didn't watch it. You know, it's kind of weird because I'm into that whole spooky stuff, but I don't watch horror movies very often. But then he's going on to say, might walk through a cemetery to see where hip-hop is buried because he said it was dead, but it just faked his death instead. So this is a whole thing. Like, so in 2006, I believe he put out Hip Hop is Dead. And then he's like, you know what? Nah, I was wrong. And I think he's actually said that, like, outside of music. Like, yeah, no, I was wrong about that. Like, I don't know his exact words, but he kind of doubled back on it. But he's saying it faked his death like Machiavelli, which is in reference to Tupac. So there's this whole conspiracy theory that Tupac didn't actually die and he just faked his death and is living in Cuba or something. So he's like, nah, hip hop never died. It was just faking his death. It was in the cut. And then you see letters in red splatter look like sauce and spaghetti. The first thing that came to mind was red rum on the mirror. I forgot what movie it is now. I'm honestly just drawing a blank. And then the sauce and spaghetti. That reminded me. I don't know if I'm just making it up or if it was an actual thing, but there was like this canned spaghetti soup that wasn't SpaghettiOs, or it might have been SpaghettiOs, but they're all alphabets. But it wasn't alphabet soup, but like it was in spaghetti sauce. I don't remember what it was called, but I remember it. But also the red splatter could just be in reference to literally any horror movie where there's red splatter with like writing, because that's a theme that a lot of horror movies go into. This then goes into Eminem's verse.
EPMD, we're back in business. Living in cramped conditions, we'll give you ammunition. Stock those shelves, I got those shells like Taco Bell, and I'm not gonna fail. I got no else like Christmas. You don't wanna make the claws come out.
Carrying on the EPMD, we're back in business theming. Living in cramped conditions will give you ammunition. I stocked those shelves. I got more shells than Taco Bell. So, living in cramped conditions kind of sounds like he's referencing what EPMD mentioned in their verse, where people aren't even able to make a minimum wage. So if you're not even making any money, you're going to live in a very cramped room, essentially. Like, because if you're lucky enough to live in a room or in a building, you're gonna be somewhere small. But he's basically like, yo, we'll give you some way to fight back. We'll give you this ammunition. And he stocks the shelves of ammunition, but he's also got more shells like Taco Bell. So shells and ammunition. And then taco shells, like from Taco Bell. And then I think him saying I'm not going to fail is like, you know how when you eat crunchy tacos, like they sometimes crack in the bottom and like everything just kind of falls out? He's not going to fail like that. He got no L's. He doesn't lose, but no L, like on Christmas. And you don't want to make the claws come out. So claws being like your actual claws. But on Christmas, you don't want to make Santa Claus come out. Which is kind of weird because you kind of want Santa to come out on Christmas.
Y'all should call yourself Santa, cause none of y'all are real. Not a single one, like a dollar bill. It's like your bitch in the pellet court, she's on a pill. We got a bond and she'll never bail on me, not even out of jail.
Man, spoiler alert for anyone who still believes in Santa, but he ain't real, I guess. But he's basically like, nah, none of y'all are real, like you ain't really about that. And then not a single one, like a dollar bill, like a single dollar bill, but like not a single one of y'all are real. It's like your bitch in appellate court. She's on a pill. So appellate court is like where you appeal things, but also I think the way it's said is a pellet. So like a pellet from a shotgun shell, which he referenced shells in the first bit. But also she's on a peel or on a pill, so kind of going into like a drug bar. So she's appealing at the appellate court, and we got her a bond and she'll never bail on me, so bail bonds.
EPMD, but me, I got no chill. Just a lot of skrill. Lady, my paper so crazy, I just tossed the mill out the window with my mobile on the fucking freeway on the way here.
He got no chills, and he's got a lot of money, which he then just throws out of his car on the way out of here. Or on the way there, sorry. Probably to court, because of what he was referencing earlier.
Like Rudolph and his homies when they're pulling the sleigh. Yeah, that's a lot of bucks flying when I'm making it rain, dear. Green on me, but no weed, shorty, just these, darling. A pocket full of pills, some are Tylenol threes, probably 2 or 3 Molly.
Again, going back to the Christmas and Santa Claus bit. Like Rudolph and his homies when they're pulling the sleigh. Like, so the mobile that's getting, I guess, is getting pulled by Rudolph and the other reindeers. He's throwing out the money like there's a lot of bucks flying, so these reindeer fly. And then when I'm making it rain, deer. Green on me, but no weed, shorty, just these. So the green money, but also, I don't know if that was intentional, but Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks, one of their main colors is green. And then a pocket full of pills, some are Tylenol 3, probably 2 or 3 Molly. Kind of going into the she's on a pill bit from earlier. But he's got a pocket full of pills. I don't think that's as much nowadays.
So Summer E, which reminds me of rap summary. Mommy, my theme song, me and Pete always used to play that shit on repeat all day, so please call me Big Daddy. Plus I got the cane and lean on me.
So in this bit, he's going into a whole Big Daddy Kane bar. So Rap Summary is a Big Daddy Kane song. Me and P, I think he's talking about Proof. And they used to play that shit on repeat all day. So please call me Big Daddy Kane. Plus I got the cane, cocaine, and Lean on Me, the lean. But also Lean on Me is another song by Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah, MCs I'm eating you BITCH just like tortilla chips. Me, I'm free of debt. Yeah, green is on Chia Pet. This is the effects of my old neighborhood misery index poverty. It is peak OCD and PTSD, I guess.
He's just a rapper. He's eating y'all up like tortilla chips. And he's free of debt, and he's got so much green that he's got a Chia Pet. And then he's like, you know what, maybe this is just the effect of how I grew up, like being in the old neighborhood, the misery index, poverty, OCD, PTSD. Like, he's like, you know, maybe this is all because of how I grew up, like how he's acting right now.
RIP out to DMX, these are we and Nipsey Ecstasy and Prince Marky DMF. Do my hit 50 via text, told him that I love him cause I don't even know when I'ma see him next. Tomorrow could be a death.
So this whole bit is just showing love to all of the artists who have passed away in recent years. But then you hit up 50 Cent via text, which, yeah, it makes sense. It kind of goes into the whole giving people flowers while they're still alive bit. Like, he doesn't know what could happen to 50. I mean, Eminem was part of the reason 50 Cent is where he is today. So he definitely has love for him.
Yeah, and this shit ain't for the faint, cause the brains of the train kill the danger, the range, and I drank all the day, pull a blank on the paper, then wait till the page fill up.
So this shit ain't for the faint of heart. Hip hop, I mean, yep, because people die seemingly at random. But also the rapping, like what he's saying in his bars, you know, it's not for the faint of heart. Just being a rapper isn't for the faint of heart. You don't know how people are going to come at you and how people are going to, I guess, respond to what you say. And he goes into it more so because the way his brain works, at least from what I'm taking it here, his brain is it's iller trained, it's a killer, it's danger, and it's deranged. And part of it is because he drank all the Dayquil and he just blanked out on the paper. And then the page filled up.
Pace full of shame, for the strength of a pain, for the drink. I just pray for the day when I'm able to say that I'm placed with the greats and my names, with the Canes and the Waynes and the Jays and the Dreys and the Yays and the Drakes.
I don't know what he's saying with the hate spiller bit, but whatever it is it's affecting him as strongly as a painkiller or a tranquilizer. And then he's just praying that one day he'll be placed with the greats, like Big Daddy Kane or Lil Wayne or Jay-Z or Dr. Dre, Kanye, Drake, which I think Eminem is in that position, so it's kind of weird, but it's also him trying to be more humble, even though he's just always showing us and telling us how much better he is than a lot of people. But, you know, I think no matter how you really feel about Eminem nowadays, I think the general consensus is he is one of the greats. And then it keeps going.
And the J, Dillis Jadis, Cool J's, and the Roz, and Amazing, it's Nas, and praise to the gods, and a shout to the golden age of hip-hop, and the name of the song is...
And he, you know, he continues to list off people that he wants to be listed with, like J Dilla, Jadakiss, LL Cool J. And he's like, I want to be as amazing as Nas is. And he's just shouting out the whole, like, the golden age of hip-hop. And then it goes back into the chorus, which is the same as before, and that is the track. Overall, I thought this track was solid. I did like that they kept the same beat, and I do like that EPMD was featured on it. I wish they had a longer verse, and just had a little bit more to it, because, you know, this is a song in their name, essentially, or, well, literally in their name. It was kind of weird that Eminem had such a long verse, but that is what Eminem does. He probably got a call from Nas and was like, well, I'm just going to rap my ass off. And he did. You know, at first, because I did listen to this a couple of times before this video, at first I wasn't really feeling Eminem's verse because it felt a little bit out of place and too forced. Like, he was just trying to be overly technical and didn't necessarily fit into the song as well. But after a couple listens, like, nah, it's fine. He fits in. I might not enjoy his verse as much as Nas or EPMD's, but I'm not saying it was bad. It definitely wasn't bad. But, you know, Nas and EPMD had solid verses. This song does touch on a couple things, a little bit of inequalities in our society currently. Talking about death and, I guess, paying tribute and homage to people who have passed away recently. So, overall, it was pretty cool. And now that I'm looking at the lyrics again, the spaghetti bit could have just been in reference to Eminem bombing on a sweater already, mom spaghetti. But I don't think that... Well, it could be. It could be. I don't know how memey... Yeah, well, I don't know how much into memes Nas is what I was trying to say. But anyways, this song was good. The rest of the album is honestly really good too, and I do enjoy it more than the original one, at least off of my first couple of listens. But that's where I'll cut it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this track, and what your favorite verse is. And also let me know if I missed something or misinterpret anything, because like I said, I don't know everything. It's totally possible I missed something. Also like and subscribe if you want to see more breakdowns and content like this. Thank you for watching, and please stay safe out there.